All right, let's dive into a story that's equal parts terrifying and inspiring. A story that makes you think about the fragility of life and the power of quick action. Imagine this, a completely healthy, fit guy in his 50s, an athlete no less, suddenly finds himself paralyzed on one side, unable to move, and in the fight of his life. That's exactly what happened to Todd Micklejohn, and what makes this really interesting is how his wife's split-second decision turned a potential tragedy into what doctors are calling a miracle. But here's the thing, this isn't just a feel-good story. It's a wake-up call about strokes, the hidden risks in our bodies, and how luck and timing can literally mean the difference between life and death. So, let's start with the moment everything changed. Todd, a teacher and avid biker, wakes up on a normal morning, goes through his routine, and then, bam, a sudden, squeezing pain. Personally, I think this is where the story gets chilling. He's a guy who's always been healthy, never even had a cold, and now he's on the floor, paralyzed on his right side, unable to stand. What many people don't realize is how quickly strokes can escalate. Todd's memory of that moment is blurry, but he remembers the terror of not knowing what was happening. If you take a step back and think about it, this could happen to anyone at any time, and that's what makes it so unsettling. Now, here's where the story takes a turn. Todd's wife, a nurse, comes home unexpectedly and finds him on the ground. She calls 911 immediately, and this is the moment that changes everything. From my perspective, this is the real hero moment. If she hadn't been there, if she hadn't acted so fast, this story could have ended very differently. Todd was rushed to the hospital, and within 38 minutes of that 911 call, he was in surgery. That speed is insane, and it's why he's here today. But it also raises a deeper question. How many people are as lucky as Todd? How many of us would recognize the signs of a stroke fast enough? The surgery itself is fascinating. They performed a mechanical thrombectomy, which basically means they went in and removed the clot causing the stroke. One thing that immediately stands out is how precise and quick this procedure has to be. Dr. Davis, the neurosurgeon, said it's like resuscitating the brain, and that's a detail I find fascinating. The brain starts dying within minutes of a stroke, so every second counts. Todd's surgery was a success, and he was speaking and moving again shortly after. But here's the kicker. The stroke was caused by a heart defect he didn't even know he had. This is where the story gets even more intriguing. Todd had a PFO, a small hole between the upper chambers of his heart that never closed after birth. Now, PFOs are actually pretty common. About 20 to 30% of adults have them. But what this really suggests is that even seemingly harmless conditions can have serious consequences. In Todd's case, a blood clot traveled through that tiny hole and went straight to his brain. It's so rare that doctors only consider it after ruling out everything else. Personally, I think this is a reminder that our bodies can surprise us in the worst ways, even when we think we're perfectly healthy. After the stroke, Todd had the PFO closed, and now he's back to biking, teaching, and living his life. But here's the part that sticks with me. He still thinks about how close he came to a completely different outcome. He credits his wife's quick thinking and the medical team's speed for saving him. And now, he's on a mission to raise awareness about strokes. In my opinion, that's the most important part of this story. It's not just about Todd's recovery, it's about what we can all learn from it. Strokes don't discriminate, and knowing the signs could save a life. So, what's the takeaway here? First, strokes are scary, but they're also treatable if you act fast. Second, our bodies can hide risks we're not even aware of. And finally, luck plays a huge role, but so does preparedness. If you take anything from this, let it be this. Know the signs of a stroke, face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty, and act fast. Because, as Todd said, until it happens to you, you have no idea. And honestly, that's a lesson we should all take to heart.